Yes, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Joint Endeavours. This episode 5, we finally got all of the deliveries. We've got the fish mix, the Dynomyco, we've got a couple of little freebies here. The BioBizz light mix, which is great if you want to have more control over the soil. And we've got worm castings. These worm castings are absolutely packed with beneficial microbes, organisms, slow release as well, energy, a little bit of nitrogen, and these type of things as well also help overall plant health, and they help to dilute some of the nutrients that go in there, and it just kind of gives the plants more of a smoother ride with all these nutrients. So we're really good for the soil. The new pots didn't arrive. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for the new pots, so we're gonna have to recycle some old ones. This stuff's meant to be good. I've never used it before, but we're gonna get it in. No messing around today. I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and get these pots filled. Right then, so now that all these are pre-mixed, worm castings, perlite, BioBizz light mix, I'm going to make some little holes here, dig it in, get in the mycorrhizae, and then make room for the new plants to be put in. So, best if you kind of get this all the way up. It's not easy as well with just one hand, but it should be good enough hopefully. So I'll make that big. Same with this one. Normally do this outside, but the weather is absolutely roasting right now. So obviously with 35 degrees plus, it's not exactly like the nicest weather to be repotting. Even in the shade is absolutely roasting. So let's get this off. So, the Dynomyco. Like I said, I've never actually used this stuff before, but apparently it's got some really good views. So I think what we're going to do is just throw a good amount in there. Same with this one. Basically want it to go wherever any of the roots are going to touch. Another one here. And then once we've dug this hole, put the last of the mycorrhizae in, we'll go upstairs and we'll go and get the 3 plants that we want to transplant. One of them is Robin Hood seeds, is frozen blueberries. Second one is James Loud, the dark sunset. And the third one is the blue cheese by Barney's Farm. So when I was away in Florida, those 3 were the ones that kind of survived the most, but at the same time it looks like they took the hardest hit. So we've been waiting for this to be done so we can get the new plants in, and then we can get them on the way, get them up to a nice standard so we can get them ready to flower. All right, put you on a night time lapse here and we'll go and get the other plants. Alright team, happy days. We've got all this sorted now. We've got the worm castings, BioBizz light mix, perlite, and a little bit of mycorrhizae in there to get it all going. Once these plants do bounce back, we'll give them a little bit more training, and then they should be good to go for flower. In the meantime, we're going to bring the smaller plants that are upstairs and we're going to bring them down here, and then we're going to take these 3 plants and put them in the big 3x3 upstairs. Alright everyone, it's the day after, and here are the transplanted new plants. So obviously they're looking a little bit battered, looking a little bit tired. I did splash around a little bit of water last night. It was just 1 litre shared between 3 of them. I don't want to give them too much water, just as they've been transplanted. So today we're going to feed them, we're going to put in the nematodes, and we're going to finally use the Athena IPW. So we'll give all this a good debugging. Then later on, after that, what we're going to do, we're going to put the chicken and waffles. This is the survivor clone. The other 5 seeds that was in here, my friend came today, so he's collected them. So we'll see how they get on in a couple of months. We're going to leave these clones as they are. They look like they're just about on the way. So we'll put a bit more soil in them and top them up. Nematodes and everything. Athena IPW on everything else. All right, let's get going. So a quick update on the 8 clones. They're doing just fine. What I totally didn't realize last night is when I plugged the light in, I didn't plug in a timer. So that was actually on 24 hours of light last night. So it shouldn't do it much harm, to be honest. It's only 100 watts and it was just 1 day. So it should be all right, but I've put that back onto 18.6. So we're rocking with the light in there now. That's all sorted. What we're gonna do now is make a nice little concoction of fish mix and BioGrow silica plus enzymes and some other stuff as well. Once we've done that, we'll then feed the first round of plants. So let's get you up here, try and find a decent view. That'll do. So we've got the water that's been bubbling all night. 1 bottle's been bubbling for 24 hours, the other one's been bubbling for around 48 hours. Nice bubbling. So, first of all, BioBizz fish mix. What's actually in this stuff? Obviously it's fish emulsion and probably kelp and seaweed and other stuff like that, but let's actually go through it and see what's in it. So, nitrogen, ammonium, nitrate, organic nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So that's not too bad. It says regular watering, 1 to 4 millilitres per water. For a foliar spray, use again 1 to 2 millilitres per litre. Apply directly on the leaves, top and bottom. Use preferably during periods of growing, suitable for indoor and outdoor and all kinds of substrates and mediums. Keep out of reach of children. Okay, so let's give it a few drips of that. So in here we've got, it's an 8 litre bucket, but I had to take a litre out of it last night for the plants. So we've put in 7 litres, and with this we'll put in 14 mil. So yeah, around 14 mil of that. And then we've got Monkey Soil Radical Grow. Now I know this is a silica, mainly a silica based with amino acids. Again, composed of nitrogen, phosphorus and magnesium, which are carried by amino acids that enhance production and plants and growth. So it basically helps cell walls as well, helps plants against stress, and favours the transport of nutrients that are provided, ensuring delivery and cellular levels to all parts of the plant. Alright. So yeah, I knew it's been good stuff. I've been using this stuff for a while now in veg. Good stuff. The only thing that isn't good stuff is the lid. The lid's an absolute ball ache. Every time you open that, it just drips out of there every time. So, as this is a silica-based substance, we'll put this in first. It's usually general practice. I don't know if that's true, but it don't really make any difference. So again, this wants 2 mil per litre. So putting 2 mil per litre of this. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, and 2 more, 13, and go just 2 mil, 13, 14. Clean it out a little bit. Got the air stone bubbling as well, so that should help it mix in a little bit. Next one, clean this out. Right under the armpit, classic technique. I need the same again, 14 mil. One's much thicker. 3, 6, 9, 12, and if I will squirt that around 2 mil, maybe that's 2 mil. Should be alright though. The thing about this BioBizz as well is it's not too harsh, so you can kind of like overdo it. I mean, with most organics as well, most of it's just eyeballing anyway. The fact that these things come into a ready pre-made liquid for you, again, they can be strong, of course, they are concentrated, but at the same time they are quite gentle on the plant. They're not like most of these synthetics, these salt-based fertilizers and nutrients. So we'll give that a bit of a wipe down there. As that's in there now, swirling around, pull this out, put that one back in there, and give it the old mix around. Classic technique. Boom. So, get all these lids back on. Last thing you want to do is knock them over. It's devastating when that goes everywhere. Always have a dirty rag. Make everything clean again. Most of the time I just wash this off, throw it away. Got loads of them, but I just don't want it dripping everywhere. That's a nightmare when you get it on the wood. It's my own fault though, I suppose I should just put a cover down. So that's all mixed. Now we need to check the pH. Okay. So we're going down to 6.2. Good thing is about this Radical Grow by Monkey Soil, this actually knocks down the pH by quite a bit. So providing you just put that in first and then put whatever else in afterwards, it does kind of balance out the tap water. But that's probably just coincidence considering the height of mine and the strength of this, and it just automatically knocks it down. So what's that saying, 6.9? So yeah, it's around 6. So that's fine for the plants. Anything in veg, you can get anything between 5.8 and up to 6.8, you know, if you really wanted to. But as long as you kind of just don't keep hitting the same thing exact every single time. I think a lot of this stuff that you put into the plants, different organisms and different minerals, they break down at different acidities and different pH levels. So it's better to get more of a range of different pHs, just of around a rough point, and not getting exactly like 6.2, 6.2, 6.2 every single time. So, you know, just range it between around 5.8 and 6.5. You can get away with around 6.8, but as long as you don't keep giving the plants 6.8 for weeks at a time, then obviously you'll have a problem. And what you really need to do is make sure that you get an overall consensus and roughly hit it around between 6 and 7. And then it gives all these different minerals and different things to break down at different pH levels. Right, let's take this upstairs. Can't imagine dropping that. Whoa, devastated. Let's get it up here. We are rocking. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give these a litre each. You can sort this stand out. So 1 litre each. What I'm going to do is just pour this in nice and slow. I'm not going to totally flood everything. I'm going to make sure that we inoculate that mycorrhizae. Make sure that kicks in when the roots touch it. And along with the amino acids and the silica, plus the nitrogen from the fish mix, the plant should be off to a nice little running start. Now again, you don't want to like flood it all in all at once. I know some people just throw it in, you might see that, but that is true later on. It depends how much time you have, but for me I feel like just after a transplant, these things are like babies. I don't think you feed a baby by throwing the entire meal down, just throw it all at once. So you want to give it a bit by bit and let it settle in nice. Just a theory. Got to make sure as well to get it around the edges. A lot of the stuff around the edges, especially in the fabric pots in this kind of a heat, fabric pots can make them dry. The sides of the soil go really dry. This has got to be some of the best times though that you do with the plants, when you're just watering them, just watching them grow. Definitely is a love for the craft. Not many people enjoy this. Some people just want their weed. But at the same time, you've got to appreciate where that comes from. And every single bud that we smoke is literally 5 months of someone's time. Even if it's come from some crazy expensive facility, someone still had to grow that. Someone still took care of it. Someone still pruned the leaves, fed it every day, put it down, dried it, cured it to perfection. It is a craft. Most people overlook these kind of things. So, we normally give these 2 litres, but right now we're just giving them 1 litre of feed, and then the next litre is going to be the nematodes. So we'll get the nematodes in there, 2 litres in total, and then we'll make a spray mix for the Athena IPW. Done. Okay, we are back with second round of nematodes. So, first time I used the nematodes, I didn't film it, just wanted to use them, see what was going on. Second time round, now that we've got them freshly transplanted and they're in the new pots, we need to get the nematodes in. So, like we said earlier, there are 50 million of these nematodes. This packet contains eggs or something, baby worms, and when you pour it into the water they hatch, and obviously they start eating everything else that's around there, which includes any gnat fly eggs, any larvae, any type of flies, whatever. It's gone with a combo of the nematodes and the Athena IPW. So we need 2 litres of water for these. Fill that up. Just halfway. Now what I did last time, I just opened these really easily. Kind of freaks me out a little bit because they are like hundreds of, well, 50 million worms. Imagine just getting a mouthful of that and then they hatch inside you. Ooh, savage. But I'm going to be careful with them. Crack the packet open. Looks just like a white paste. I'm sure you can see it in there. So yeah, we're going to pour some water into there first. Swill it all around. Just got to be really careful with this. If you drop it, it'll just be an absolute nightmare. Cleaning it up. 50 million, whatever these are, microscopic organisms just rocking around the kitchen. Not good. The missus will go crazy. So we'll swill all these in a little bit, just get them all wet. And pour them in there. So there's the majority of them there. Pretty much clean. A little bit more. That's it. That is full. What I'm going to do, get a little spoon, something to mix it with. I'm going to mix them up, let them settle for a minute. And then what we need to do, bear in mind this is just 1 litre. So we need to mix it with a second litre in order to make it 2 litres. Trusty rag out. Oh, I've spilled it. Just 100,000 right there. Take the nozzle off the end of here, because these have got the holes in them. Sometimes that powder can get trapped in there. So we'll take them out. And then what we'll do, slowly transfer the contents of this into there. And then we can fill this jug up again so we know exactly what's a litre. And then we'll just pour them into each other, forward and backwards, until everything's mixed nicely. Once we've done that, we'll then divide it over all the plants that we've got. So we've got 8 clones, 3 big plants that are in the flowering tent, still in veg obviously, got 1 chicken and waffles, and we have 4 other clones. 2 of them are permanent marker, 1 of them's Queen of the South, and the other one is a Tropicana orange. So we just want to make sure that everything, every plant, gets a blast of these nematodes. So now we'll fill this back up with our prepped water. So now we know we've got 2 litres in the mix. That bottle's 1.5 litres, so we can transfer that forward and backwards. Try and get all the froth out of the top as well. Remember, each bit of these froth, everything that you can see, all this clear stuff, all these little things just chilling in the bottom, these are all live. So you have to make sure it's mixed well. Mycorrhizae. Into there, back into here. It's a slow process, but just make sure that all the water is truly mixed. And also as well, some of these nematodes, the stuff that it comes in is quite chunky. It looks like chicken stock. So you just got to make sure that it's all well mixed. Pouring clumps of that on where it's not properly been moistened, and get powdery chunks that float around the top. It's not great really. Again, just letting it chug like that allows it to get a good mix. I'm going to do this a good couple of times. Make sure there's an even amount. Just one more time, I reckon. There's obviously easy ways of doing this, getting big buckets, but I've just figured it out this way. It's much more mobile, easy to use on a smaller scale. Okay. So now that that's done, take you off the stand, and we'll do these first 8. So remember, don't want to overdo it, just want to give these a little chug at the bottom. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Making sure that everything just gets a nice drip. Oh. Getting into the back here as well. Whoa. 2 more at the back. Let's get some of these out maybe. Okay. Last 2. Oh, drip there. And that should be enough. The nematodes. So over the next few days or weeks, they should do the job. Cleaning out the soil, munching all those little pests. And that's the first step. And debugging. So let's take the rest of this upstairs and we'll do the bigger plants. Alright, now that we've got all the nematodes in each pot, we're going to make a quick Athena mix. And, oh wait, I just realised that the Athena should be sprayed on just before lights off, because obviously the little beads will be affected in the lights, the little liquid beads. So, maybe I'll stop the video here. And then later on, just before lights out, we'll come in and we'll do a little spray. These lights are actually set for, I think they go off at around 4 in the morning, 4 a.m. So I guess I'll stay up late tonight and we'll give these a spray around 3 a.m. just before the light goes off. And hopefully the Athena should be all good. We don't want to put the Athena in too early because obviously in each one of these pots is nematodes, and in theory the Athena IPW could kill off the nematodes and we don't want that. So maybe you should wait a few hours, let those nematodes set in, and then with the Athena IPW, we give them a light spray just before lights off, and then in a couple of days we'll give them another spray, and that should be the whole pest management complete. Alright, it's 4 a.m. I'm going to start this Athena IPW spray. Almost 4 a.m. here, the lights are almost off. Give this a quick blast. We need around 16 ml for a ½ litre bottle. So we're just going to do a quick time lapse here and get to bed. Busy day tomorrow. But we can't let the babies go with any more thrips. And this is best to do when the lights are off. So let's get this done quick. I'll see you in the morning. Team, it's 4 a.m. IPW is done. Thrips should be sorted. Got myself a nice doobie, get to bed, and then tomorrow we're making hash. So I'll see you in the next episode. Joint Endeavours out.